Hello everyone and welcome to the first of the Down Under Quidditch Media 2021 NQL season previews. My name is Steven Poletti and our two interviews today are going to see Rebecca Robb preview the Sydney City Serpents 2021 season, and Cameron Walker is going to preview the 2021 season for the Eastern Sydney University's Quidditch Club. Full credit goes to Willem de Gauw for the two photos in the bottom left of screen. During the season preview screens for the Sydney City Serpents and ESU, those photos were taken directly from the respective teams' Facebook pages, and full links will be in the description below for those. You'll also notice that there is currently a flag behind me that does not appear in the Serpents season preview. That interview was recorded a few days ago prior to me acquiring the flag. Please remember to like and subscribe here on YouTube so that we can grow the channel and as a result continue to help grow Quidditch both domestically and internationally. Please also check out the Down Under Quidditch Media website to see the fantastic work from all our contributors, and please feel free to leave any feedback so that we can help to continually improve Down Under Quidditch Media. Without any further delay, let's check out the season preview for the Sydney City Serpents. Alright, and joining us now to preview the Sydney City Serpents is Rebecca Robb. Rebecca, thank you for joining us today.
You going?
I'm not too bad. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Nervous, but excited.
You excited for the 2021 season?
Yes, of course. I only started playing in 2019, so I've only really had like one full year of Quidditch in my whole Quidditch time. So yes, I'm very excited to be going back.
Yes, the sooner we forget about 2020, the better. So
I agree.
What can you tell us about what the Serpents have done between the end of 2019 and the start of 2021 to get prepared for this season after the disappointment at Quaffle 2019?
It felt like 2020 started off pretty good for us. We were having regular trainings with decent numbers at trainings too, because just having trainings is never enough. You've always got to have the numbers. But as it got colder, so coming into the winter months, and as COVID kind of got worse and worse, our numbers started dwindling. And at least for me, that's when our gaming chat picked up. So Serpents have a gaming chat, and we'd all hop on Discord and play Among Us, or what else did we do? Jackbox, stuff like that. And that was a good way to kind of keep the team morale up and keep us all engaged with each other. For me, that was great. I'd never really had something like that before, and it felt like the rest of the team really benefited from that. In terms of Quidditch, we just had a big lull in the middle of 2020 where we weren't allowed to play Quidditch, and there wasn't much Quidditch stuff to do. So it kind of picked up again when the regulations allowed us to start playing again, and we just try and hustle up numbers, see which days worked for the most of us. And now at the start of 2021, we have had open trainings, which has been pretty good. We've had a couple of people show up. We've also been having our tryouts, so we've had lots of new recruits come, and our trainings have been pretty good so far. So hopefully we're off to a good start.
Oh, that's good, and it's definitely good that you're able to keep team unity up over the COVID pause. I know that was difficult for a lot of teams to do, just because of the logistics of people getting used to new technology that they're not exactly used to.
Yep.
You'd be surprised the amount of people who hadn't heard of Discord before the pandemic, and now they're Discord experts. So, is there anything exciting that you guys are looking to implement for the 2021 season that the Serpents haven't necessarily implemented before? Things like strategy or just changing up the playing style?
Probably less in the way of strategy, just because so many of the Serpents are older players. We usually kind of just roll with it. But in terms of attitude and mindset, I think 2021 is looking like it's going to be a little bit more of a relaxed year for us. I think that was probably going to be our plan going into 2020 as well. Because a lot of our players are older and have been in the sport for a long time, it means that our priorities are often on different levels. You know, I'm a uni student, so I have a little bit more free time than someone who has a full-time job or a family or something like that. So I think while obviously we're still a competitive team, it's going to be more about making the most of our time playing Quidditch, being grateful that we even have Quidditch we can play, and just trying to work more as a team and keep the spirits up. I think that's probably something we're really looking forward to. And I guess when we started 2020, we got some new recruits. I was one of them. We also got Julia as well, Julia Baker from UCID. And I think getting new players has also been exciting for us because it adds a new dynamic. So we'll be looking to see how we and our new players, our new recruits for this season, slot into the team and how that shifts the dynamic.
That sounds like it's going to be very good for the Serpents this season. Do you think that this is the year that the Serpents may be able to, should Quaffle return, actually win Quaffle after many disappointments in the past with this new mindset coming into the 2021 season?
I feel like I'm obligated to say yes, of course we're going to win Quaffle. I mean, I think that's something that we definitely all still have in mind. It's something that we care about, obviously, as a team, and a lot of our longtime players care about it as a goal in their minds. It would be very nice to win Quaffle, I think. I know some of us on the team still do have that very much as a key aspiration, but it will really just depend on, how the year goes, if Quaffle goes ahead. I know Quaffle is a big motivator for players to come and train as well. So I don't know. Yes, we will be aiming to win Quaffle, but I don't think it's going to be as much expectation on us to win, if that's the right way of phrasing that. Like, we've had a year off and we have had less attendance at trainings because of COVID and everything. So I really do think it's going to have to be a more go with the flow, see how we're vibing kind of situation.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. As someone from an outsider's perspective, I absolutely want to see the Serpents do it, just because I've seen you guys come close in the 4 or 5 years that I've been involved in Quidditch, and to come so close last year again, the semi-final loss was. I could see the heartbreak on your faces after that game, and it hurt me a little bit because I kind of empathize a little bit with a lot of people, so it's just so seeing that hurt me a little bit. I think
the rest of the team probably agrees with you. Don't worry.
I never want to see anyone as disappointed as you guys looked. Are there any notable absences from 2019 that have left the Serpents?
From 2019.
AJ
left.
Or from last season as well, but...
Yeah, I'll start from back then. I'll see who I can remember. So AJ left, and that's sad because AJ's great.
Yeah.
And but he's off doing some really cool stuff overseas. We love that for him, and he's still been part of all of our team chats and everything like that. So he's gone but not forgotten. Who else? We have one player leaving this year, I think, but I don't know if I could say anything because I don't want to. I know this sounds very much like I'm drumming up mystery, but I don't know if they want me to advertise that yet or not.
But enough.
Yeah, one pretty notable player will actually be interested. I'll be very interested to see how that affects our dynamics on pitch as well. Very key player, so we'll wait and see. As for new players, we do have a couple of new players joining us this year. We have, I may as well say it now, you guys can get the scoop in. We have Lena from UCID, so she was on UCID Unspeakables and now she's with us. We also have a brand new fresh face to Quidditch. Her name is Quinn, and Quinn goes to uni at Macquarie, and through connections and stuff like that found out about us and applied, so we've got her. And we've also got old face in the community, Christian Barkin, and he's come to join us as well. He's been around for a little bit in the gaming Discord chat that we've got going on, so he I think will fit very naturally into our team dynamic. And it'll be interesting to see what these new faces bring as well. Some brand new, fresh energy and some older, more experienced energy. I think that will be good for us.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of interesting things in the works for the 2021 season, which is only a good thing. I'm definitely looking forward to trying to figure out exactly who that player is that's going to be departing, supposedly. Is there anything else you want to say, just as a message to the Quidditch community in general, either on behalf of the Serpents or yourself, as we lead into this 2021 season?
On behalf of the Serpents, I definitely would say, this is it's hard to phrase. We are still here, and we are still just as excited to be playing Quidditch as we always have been. And I know our dynamic has changed as we've, evolved as a team, but we're still there. We're still looking to win. We're still, trying our best. And I feel like that's the right attitude to be taking into the 2021 season for all teams. Trying your best, being excited to play Quidditch again. I know for me as well as the team, that's something that's going to be very important to all of us. So we should all, especially with the new rulebook coming through as well, be patient with each other and be making sure we're taking care of each other moving forward. It'll be just really, really good to be playing Quidditch again. So, yeah.
Yeah, you got your first taste of the new rulebook at the UCID Fantasy just last month. Along with a lot of us. What did you think about all the changes, especially to the starting procedure?
It wasn't too bad. I had a go at both being a runner for the quaffle and being one of the people on the sides, and I think it was okay, especially the people that, like all of the refs and the people that were implementing and teaching the new rulebook. They did it really well. I don't think there were any major problems at the tournament. I don't think there was too much confusion. And once we all got to see how it kind of played out, there was pretty clear understanding. What else do I think of the new rule book? I don't think it went. I think its introduction into the community didn't go badly, and that can only be a good thing. For me, because I've only been playing for a little bit, hopefully it'll be easier for me to adjust. I'm not sure how long-time players in the community will feel about it, but it seemed okay. I didn't have an issue with it. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much for your time today and helping us preview the Sydney City Serpents.
No worries. I'll be excited to see you all on pitch very soon, 2021 season.
And once again, a huge thank you to Rebecca Robb for joining us here on Down Under Quidditch Media for the Sydney City Serpents season preview. Without any further delay, we'll jump straight into our interview with Cameron Walker from Eastern Sydney University's Quidditch Club to preview their 2021 season. Everyone, and welcome to the second of our season previews. Today we are joined by Cameron Walker of Eastern Sydney University's Quidditch Club, a combination of the UNSW Quidditch Society and UTS Quidditch that formed at the start of the 2020 season before the COVID shutdown, so never got a chance to play a proper season. So this will be the first full season for ESU. Cameron, welcome to the season previews.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here and talk about ESU.
So, jump right into it then. What was the reason behind the forming of ESU?
Yeah, so look, definitely in 2019, it might be hard for other people to understand because UTS and UNSW both reached that Division 2 final. It was a really heated game and we had good competition, but UNSW Snapes on a plane took out the Division 2 title in 2019, which was really good, but we knew that we would have a lot of people who might not return to our club, and UTS were in a very similar position, if not worse than us, because once you have all those old people leaving Quidditch, it makes it hard for the newer people. For example, I like to think of it as kind of like a generation thing. For example, we're kind of like, me and Jackson are like generation 2 of Quidditch. You have all those people who started earlier than us in like the early 2010s and everything. And then we came in and, older people in our club who taught us then left. We had to do coaching. So I think the reason behind the ESU merge was just, it was a fallback, it was a safety option, because if we had a bad recruitment year, or if someone had to leave Quidditch, our club might be screwed. But the ESU merge worked out really well, because last year we managed to keep our club alive, and we had lots of really good recruits. We even got recruits later in the year when we didn't expect to. We got someone from October, and that's not a general recruitment period, So because of, I think without the merge in 2020, one of either UTS or UNSW Quidditch Society would have died if we didn't do that merge. Or even both. It was just, we didn't have enough people supporting the society. But now we're together and we can kind of pull all that talent, and we have multiple recruiting sources. It makes it so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember that 2019 final, given that I was part of UNSW that year, when I copped one of my many injuries, which I'm still convinced was off an illegal tackle, but the refs didn't call it on the day, so have to let that one slide. So you've got the Dawnbreakers and the Nightbringers as part of the ESU teams. You'll see on the screen that the Dawnbreaker jerseys are the orange ones and the Nightbringers are the purple jerseys. Some beautiful artwork created as well, as you'll see on the screen. What has recruitment been like this year for ESU as a whole? Has it been UNSW and UTS doing their own thing? Have you guys run joint events? How's that worked?
Yeah, so first of all, recruitment has been really good. I think we've got about 15 or 16 new players in total, and we're still getting more kind of coming through. So we had UNSW O week we're in week 4 now, so we had it 4 weeks ago. And during that week, we had members from UTS Quidditch Society helping us at our various events. Our biggest event was probably the Come and Try event, which we had also a couple of members from the Quidditch community come in and help us. And we had I think it was about 25 or 30 people at that event. So very successful. And the UNSW Quidditch Society exec team, really hats off to them. We managed to sort out a really good O week, and I was really impressed by how much effort everyone put in. And then from there, we managed to retain lots of new people by using different strategies. For example, we made a messenger chat for all the new players, so that we could pass on information directly to them, like here's our upcoming events, what time's training, who can make training, things like that. And then I think UTS so we had an O day for UTS, and I went there to help out. Very successful, ran very well by the university, and we got a few sign-ups from there. And the first UTS Come and Try event was on that Saturday. So currently we're running 3 trainings a week, a Tuesday, Thursday, and a Saturday. And we have new people spread across all of those 3 trainings. But yeah, I'd say our recruitment's definitely been probably the best I've ever seen it. And I'm putting that down to the fact that we have 2 recruitment sources. And because we can pull all of our resources together, we can have lots of people helping at each event. So we're not short on staff.
No, that's incredibly good. As I've noted in the past, there's a lot of struggle when it comes to recruitment in Quidditch. I've also written an article on it over on the DUQM website, so please feel free to check that out, and I'll put a link to that one in the description below. Have there been any notable absences that might cause ESU to struggle a little bit this year with a heavy influx of new talent and not necessarily the veteran experience around to help guide that new talent, if that makes sense?
Yeah, definitely. So I think in terms of important players that have been missing, I would say that we don't really have anyone who's outright said that they're not playing this year, but it's more people who are always kind of sort of on the fence about playing Quidditch. But I think also, and our beating is always going to, I love our beaters, but it's always going to let us down a little bit just because we don't have heaps of expert experience in that department. Jackson is currently leading majority of the beating drills at training, and he's developed a lot of beating skill. In 2020, that's a lot of things that we were developing at training. I did a bit of beating as well, just to kind of learn more about it and help if the team needed that. But I think in terms of notable absences, Anna Pellin she was our main female chaser talent, but I think due to the AFL season being prolonged this year, I think she told me that she might not be able to attend. And there's a couple of others, like, for example, Cameron Elphick, Mark Thorsby, who are key players in the past, but I haven't really heard much of them. My focus has been mainly towards the new players and organising them so they can come to regular training events. So I think definitely lacking a little bit of experience is going to hold us back for the 2021 season. But I also think it's a chance for us to innovate and find creative ways to defeat the opposition.
Yeah, the season goes live in a few weeks' time on the 27th of March for NQL Preseason friendlies. Are you going to look at changing that classic UNSW approach to it, and maybe in terms of strategy and stuff like that, the way that things were when I was there, when people previous to me were there, and maybe change it up a little bit? Or are you going to try and implement that UNSW philosophy to the new players, or try to maybe find a mix of the UTS and UNSW styles of Quidditch to kind of gel everyone together?
Yeah, look, personally, I don't believe in a style of Quidditch for each team. I used to, but I think it's more down to a style of Quidditch for each player. So you'll see us doing different kind of strategies. But generally, in my opinion at least, I think our chases on the Dawnbreakers rival a lot of the other Div 1 teams. If not, sometimes we can be better than them. So that's going to be our main strength. And, we don't have that beta experience, so we're going to be relying a lot on chaser strength. But I think in terms of styles of Quidditch, we want to play an aggressive kind of style, because at the end of the day, if we're not up to the same standard as other teams, which we're pretty inexperienced, but nothing against our team. That's just the way it is. Look, other teams in Div 1 have a lot more experience than us. My thoughts around that is if we can come out and be as aggressive as possible and counter-attack straight away, then we can take them off guard. And, if the score is 40 all at halftime or at a timeout, that's great. We're still in the game. If we're in snitch range, we're still in the game, because I think that it'll catch teams off guard. That's kind of the style that I wanted to play. And, I've said this to the beaters as well. It's their job to make the lives of the chasers as easy as possible. That's kind of our philosophy around playing Div 1 Quidditch.
Fair enough. What about the Nightbringers? Is that going to be more, again, is it going to be kind of like both teams are training the same style, or is it going to be specific to what players are what? And especially with the difference level between Division 1 and Division 2, is that going to be a focus point for the Nightbringers?
Yeah, so the Nightbringers, because we all train together, definitely they want to carry over the same kind of methodology, but I think in terms of their style of play, it'll be slightly different just because they don't have the same experience as the Div 1 players. And there will still be a couple of key players who'll be leading that team, which I'm really grateful for. But it'll just naturally, because there's so much new talent and also lack of experience on that team, it'll end up being a different style of Quidditch. But I hope that the Nightbringers will be able to implement the same kind of strategies that we do. For example, we've been working a lot on in 2020 especially, we worked a lot on contact. We've been doing a lot of work on screens recently. I hope that these players can take those skills that we learn at training, and no matter if they're playing on Dawnbreakers or Nightbringers, implement that into a game somehow.
Oh, fair enough. That sounds like a good approach to have, making sure that everyone's getting an equal amount of training time and not necessarily focusing on the Div 1 team compared to the Div 2 team so much. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to this season, either personally or for ESU as a whole?
For ESU as a whole, my goal is to have a podium finish for both teams. I think that's pretty possible, given the current state of Div 1. The way I look at it, if you beat UCID and Valkyries, you're basically in the top three. Nothing against Newcastle or Macquarie, but I just don't think that they're at the same level as UCID and Valkyries. And we've shown in the past against Valkyries that we can take them on pretty pretty comfortably. And in that last match in the December NQLs, we lost by 10 points from a snitch catch. But majority of the game, we were just out of range or 30 points above for most of that game, and we played really tough. And that lineup on that specific day was missing a lot of our new talent, as well as our more experienced players. So I'm confident that in the future we can try and take on Valks and beat them. And then with USID, look, they've lost a lot of key players. I have high hopes for them. I was at their training on Friday, and they've got some really good new players. But when it comes to one-on-one, I think that we can beat them.
Fair enough. What about any personal goals for yourself this season?
Personal goals. I'd love to, if there's a state thing going on, I'd love to try and make state A team. That's been a goal of mine for a while. I feel like I've improved as a player over 2020 a lot. Like when I look back at old footage, it's not embarrassing, but there's a big difference there. So a personal goal of mine would be state A team, and to try for drop bears again.
Yeah, fair enough. Cameron Walker has joined us from Eastern Sydney University's Quidditch Club today. Cameron, thank you very much for your time to help preview the 2021 season for ESU.
No worries. Thank you very much.
And once again, a huge thank you to Cameron Walker for joining us to preview the 2021 NQL season for Eastern Sydney University's Quidditch Club. And thank you to all of you for tuning in and watching this season preview. We will be bringing you more season previews in the near future, covering teams across the New South Wales Quidditch League. As always, please remember to like and subscribe. Please share this content. Please check out the Down Under Quidditch Media website so that we can help continue to grow Quidditch both domestically and internationally. And we need your support to be able to do that, because more eyeballs on the product helps us appear better in search engines, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's Google. And just getting the name out there for DUQM will help us grow. So please do all that, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.